back to the True and Pro YouTube. This is going to be an NBA video, not a fantasy football at all. And I'm going to be discussing free agents, where they could go, trades, about anything. I'm going to have for most of the NBA teams, not all of them, because I went in some info to see rumors and I couldn't find the best ones like for every NBA team. So first, we're going to start with the Celtics, signing Isaiah Thomas for a reunion after he got injured. He went on the Celtics, he was an all-star, and then went to the Cavs, switched around to some teams, the Wizards, more, another team, and then kind of just got out of the NBA. He's been training a lot still. He wants to make it back. The reunion would be nice for him, and the Celtics got him off the bench for Kemba. And then we're going to go to the Brooklyn Nets, who I don't think is going to trade for another star. Their bench depth is pretty nuts if they start DeAndre Jordan. They got Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen. Then they got Joe Harris if he stays. I don't think Joe Harris will stay. I do not know exactly where he could go, so he probably won't be mentioned here unless it's at the end, talking about something else. But their depth on the bench is pretty good with Karis LeVert in the starting lineup with KD and Kyrie. And then we got the Hornets trading Terry Rozier and Malik Monk because they have Devontae Graham, who just blew up and could have been the most improved player, but he didn't win it. But he blew up, so now they could easily trade Malik Monk because he hasn't been anything he was supposed to be out of Kentucky. And Terry Rozier, I mean, he's great on the Celtics for a backup, but he could probably just go to a new team and be a backup and help someone out. I don't know where Terry Rozier would go, but I'm seeing then we're going to go on to the Bulls. The Bulls, I can see them trading Zach LaVine. Yes, still a young star. Yes, they're rebuilding, but Zach LaVine wants out. The Bulls have not been anywhere close to the playoffs. Zach LaVine is a super talent. Like, he's nuts. Insane athleticism. He needs to be on a team that has a chance, or at least could make the playoffs to show off his skills at that time, because he still hasn't even made an all-star game when he should have. Like, he's that good. And then we're going to go to the Cavs. I have the Cavs doing nothing. A lot of people are talking about Andre Drummond, Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love. I just see them sitting there, taking L's, fully rebuilding. They got two young point guards who have not panned out. Still going to try to keep them and see what happens. They'll probably get like a small forward, a big man from the draft. I just don't see them doing anything because they're fine with losing at this point, because before LeBron was there, that's all they did. And then we got Danny Green. I can see him going to a new team, possibly the Mavs, maybe Utah Jazz if they get rid of someone. But I just don't see the Lakers really wanting that much after that playoff run. Yes, shooters do miss sometimes, but that was the whole playoffs. You might need to make a way on a new team and try something out. And then we have the Pistons with Christian Wood, who averaged like 56% field goal percentage and like over 40% from three. So he's obviously a good young talent. I see the Pistons keeping him because they're rebuilding also, and maybe sending off Blake Griffin, because Christian Wood is so good at it as a big man. And Blake Griffin obviously just gets killed with injuries. And then also with the Pistons, Derrick Rose, I can see him getting traded to the Lakers because they might lose Rondo, KCP, and all those dudes. But then we're going to move on to the Warriors, and I can definitely see the Warriors adding a new star and probably trading Andrew Wiggins too. And if my best bet right now would probably be Oladipo, Aaron Gordon, and that's probably all for right now. Aaron Gordon would help them out a lot. He's been learning how to shoot, and he has crazy athleticism. Also, Zach LaVine could be on that list if he's on the trade block. They haven't even confirmed that yet. But the Pacers are probably going to trade Miles Turner, and I think if they're going to do it, it's probably for Drew Holiday. And they're going to link up all three of the Holiday brothers at guards, which would be crazy if two of them are starting and one comes off the bench with McConnell. They're still probably not going to be that good. They'll probably make the playoffs still because they always find a way with that just like average team. And the East is obviously not good. And then we're going to go on to the Lakers. I think Kyle Kuzma is getting shipped off. Kyle Kuzma did not improve this year. Everyone thought he would have, but he didn't. The two stars, they might make it so he doesn't get the ball as much, but he gets a lot of open shots because they have two stars, and did not prove himself well enough to be able to stay on that team. They might keep him just for that bench role, but Kyle Kuzma is not that great as everyone thought he was going to be. I'm going to go to Dwight, who I think is going to go to a new contender to try to win another chip. I could see him maybe going to like the Heat, have Bam go at power forward, Celtics, Daniel Tice really doesn't do it unless they want to play both of them. Just switch them out. Raptors, if they get rid of Marc Gasol and Serge. Clippers might not want Zubac really there anymore, or have them switch out too, to have two centers just hop in, so when they play the Lakers, they can actually have a chance. And then I got Buddy Hield for the Kings. I have him probably, I don't know. I have Buddy Hield probably going to like the 76ers. And that's not like a for sure thing, but Buddy Hield has been getting mistreated by Luke Walton and not playing, not even starting sometimes. He needs a new place to just restart and develop his career even more, because he's a great player. He drops like 20 points per game. He's one of the best shooters right now, and always in the three-point competition. And then I have DeMarcus Cousins going to contender because he's going to be on another low deal with all of his injuries. I have him probably going to the Heat, though. I think the Heat would like DeMarcus Cousins with Bam at power forward, and their team just gets better at defense if he can ever be the same as, even close to the same as he was. I have LaMelo Ball getting drafted by the T-Wolves, though. I don't see Anthony Edwards getting drafted. LaMelo Ball has the highest upside. Yes, he could bust, but the highest upside, I think the T-Wolves will take it, come off his bench, because they have D'Lo, which would be nice. And then he can just develop behind D'Lo. Obviously, D'Lo started out slow and then finally got his chance after the Lakers. Same thing might happen with Lonzo Ball, but I'm going to go to the Knicks, and I think Carmelo will make his reunion back with the Knicks for his final, last 2 years, just because he wants to finish off with his, main team that he was the best star on, and the Knicks would love him back. He'd always get cheers, signing shit. It's Carmelo. He's a legend. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. And then I got Chris Paul. I have a lot of destinations he could go to. Most likely the Lakers, the Sixers, and the Knicks. I think he could go to the Sixers just because they could move Ben Simmons somewhere else and Chris Paul could run the offense. Another shooter, too. Chris Paul's a pretty solid shooter. Lakers, I could see him going up with LeBron. They're, best friends. And then the Knicks with Carmelo. They're also really good friends. He obviously wants to end his career with some good friends and just maybe win, so the Knicks probably wouldn't be the best because he probably wants to win, but he can't really decide because he's going to get traded. OKC wants to rebuild. They got all those picks. But, yeah, and I got Fred VanVleet going to the Suns. Fred VanVleet probably could be good on the Suns because D-Book and DeAndre, and they just need another point guard. Ricky Rubio coming off the bench. Kelly Oubre in the starting lineup because he's injured for so long. Obviously, he's probably going to stay at the Raptors, but if the Suns got him, they might be able to slide in the 8th seed just because the West is so good and they have so many talent. It's hard to make the playoffs. I got the Sixers trading maybe for DeRozan or Aldridge, or they could go a lot of places. I just think the Spurs are giving up on them and rebuilding, and Tim Duncan will probably become the new head coach once Pop's done, and I just don't see them really wanting those players anymore. DeRozan has already expressed how he wants out. Could even link up back with the Raptors, and Aldridge is still a great talent. They're both great talents where they could just make a difference on a team that's close to being there. Norman Powell, I think, will get traded from the Raptors. I don't even know what they're trying to do. I think they'll just keep Kyle Lowry for sure. Obviously Siakam, Anunoby came out of nowhere, and I think they'll try to get a new big man and another shooter. If they keep Fred VanVleet, they'll try to just get another small forward to be around them and help them just sit that corner, make some random plays, be good at defense, a little grit. And then probably for the Utah Jazz, I got Jordan Clarkson leaving and going to a new contender, and then Utah Jazz will just pick him another free agent that can do some of the stuff he does and see if it works out better. Obviously, Utah Jazz were pretty close to making out of their blew a 3-1 lead, but they probably just want to try a new contender because they just want to see if anything switching up can make the team better. And then I'm going to finish off this video with the best trade assets that people could acquire because they're probably on the trade block. Got Miles Turner, Rudy Gobert, Golden State Warriors first-round pick, and obviously Andrew Wiggins because they most likely don't even want him. Drew Holiday for the Miles Turner, Drew Holiday's flip. Chris Paul, Oladipo. I haven't really talked about Oladipo. I don't really know exactly where he could be heading up, but I have a feeling he's going to be heading somewhere. Aaron Gordon also, Zach LaVine, who we mentioned in this video, because I had suspicions where they could maybe go, where they could fit. And then I'm finishing off with Bradley Beal, who I don't have a suspicion where he could go because I don't know if the Wizards will actually get rid of him. But they could rebuild with some of the young talent they have with Thomas Bryant and Roy Hachimura and John Wall just coming back to be a veteran because he's obviously not going to be the same he is. And that's probably going to cap it up for this video. This will probably be posted on the 28th, I think. And I hope you all enjoy. It was great talking. Hopefully I'll have a new video on the more NBA news or fantasy football starting sits and trade targets. But that's all. Make sure to sub and like to Drew Peralt YouTube. I'll keep posting every 2 days. But peace.